Well, Tom and I have known each other for many years. We met by living in the same neighborhood. At the time, we were both married to other people, and so we knew each other, but then we had nothing to do with each other for many years. And one day I was coming home from school, and I happened to be walking down to the mailbox, and I hadn't seen you for, 2 or 3 years, hadn't spoken to you for a couple of years.
We lived 5 houses away.
Down the street and around the corner, though.
Oh,
so,
okay.
Yes, we didn't actually see each other, even though we were only 5 houses away. And we just stopped and talked. And he suggested that we get a drink or meet for dinner or something. And, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. People say that all the time. But probably 6 months later, 6 months went by, and we did meet for dinner. And I brought a friend because I didn't want to be alone. And we had a great time, and it was just the two of us there. So a couple months went by, and we met again for a drink this time, and met one other time. And then he finally said that we should go to dinner again, and it should be a real date. And I freaked out, and I didn't call him or text him for about 2 to 3 weeks. But eventually I gave in, and here we are.
But we knew each other for many years. Our kids interacted with each other. So Linda used to come over to my house, and I used to have parties and family gatherings, and the kids used to frolic throughout the neighborhood and play Ghost in the Graveyard. So our connection as friends it was thick at that time. But through certain circumstances, we drew apart without us even realizing, or was it our decision? And then, like Linda says, I was just driving down the street, and I was holding this little dog, and she was outside, and I just stopped, and we just started talking. And as if it was like 2 years was maybe 2 weeks. We picked up where we left off as friends. Hey, how you doing? And it was probably the most beautiful thing I've experienced in life. The engagement, I engaged to Linda. I asked her, and it was in California, and it was, we were on vacation, and I don't know what led up to the part where we started looking on the laptop for rings. But go ahead.
That's not how it went. We weren't looking for rings first.
I asked.
We were getting ready to go to dinner is how this happened. And we were staying right on the beach in Laguna Niguel, California. And he came out of the shower and he said, so what kind of ring do you want? And I was like, excuse me? Like, what do you mean? Why do I need a ring? You're gonna get what? And he's like, because if I'm gonna marry you, I need a ring. And I was like, what? And I was completely confused. And it was after that we looked for rings on the internet, and we never made it to the restaurant we were gonna go to dinner. We just ended up staying in our hotel. I mean, not like weird in a weird way. Like, we just didn't end up going out because whatever.
We ordered room service.
And called our family, and so that was the engagement. I chose Service Ministries because I looked on the net, and I just kind of started reading reviews, and I knew that, we both grew up Catholic and were raised Catholic, went to Catholic schools here and there. I mean, public schools in between, but, our faith was important to us. So I knew I wanted something at least somewhat religious, but being Catholic, and being second marriages, it wasn't going to be a Catholic church. So I just started looking, and I started doing my homework, and everything about you guys was positive. There was not a single bad review. And here's something funny too. I remember one of my questions, I think it might have been Amy who I talked to. I said, because I had interviewed a couple other reverends prior, and I said, so what happens if you're sick or the day of the wedding, or you get in a car accident on the way? Like, who comes to marry us? And repeatedly the answer was, I've never missed a wedding. And I thought, but that doesn't answer my question. And I asked you guys that question, and that was not the answer I got. I learned that there were several other reverends available. Should you get sick, you did not get sick, and you came and did an amazing job. But that was another thing that was important to me, was that security. So a combination of really amazing reviews and that confidence that I had in the answers that I got when I talked to you, and also the preparation right away. We got the packet of information and I looked through it. And although a little intimidating, it was really very thorough. And so I knew that you guys were the ones to go with.
Actually, it was intimidating up until the room when you made me the most comfortable I've been in quite some time, where you looked at me and said, you know what, I got you handled, or whatever your words were. Don't worry, I've done this before, you will not, trip. And I was like, or whatever you said, you put me at ease, and you made me the most comfortable I have been in quite some time. And then when we walked up, I was just at peace. I was very comfortable, and it was because of you that put me into that frame of mind and that, comfort zone.
So he was happy I picked you.
Oh, I was like this. I'm like, oh, what if I don't know how to repeat? I was asking you the questions. I'm like, what if I stumble? What if I,
Yeah.
And you're like, don't worry, I got you. So yeah, it was, I had a great time. I was hovering for quite some time after that day, and still am. And that was probably one of the most beautiful days of my life.
Aww.
So
we did get a lot of
very
positive feedback from our guests.
Yeah, very
everyone
positive.
who attended.
Actually, one of the guys I golf with said that there was probably the best wedding he has ever attended, and he's attended a lot of weddings. So a lot of people that showed up, the ones that I spoke with, not only were very comfortable, but were very pleased with the results.
And all aspects of it too. We got a lot of compliments about everything from the ceremony to the hotel to the venue. There's a lot of positive feedback about every single piece of it, kind of more than I expected. So yeah, I kind of expected people to go their separate ways and really not hear from anyone again, really, except for the people we talked to all the time. And that wasn't the case. We had people reaching out to us. So that made me feel really good. I swear.
How clean or how?
No, stop it.
No, because it's kind of.
It is not. Oh, you hear my
You gotta
son.
go and tell him to.
Okay.
And don't use the F word like you usually do.
Oh my God, why are you like this?